He's basically challenging prosecutors to try to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Trump believed his claims of a stolen election were false. How hard is that element of this case going to be for the special counsel to prove what Trump believed at that time?
Diane, that's the hardest part of the case for special counsel Jack Smith, to get inside Trump's head. That's why so much of the indictment is spent on evidence of Trump's knowledge and intent, what Trump said, but more importantly, what was said to him by folks in his inner circle, people that he appointed to cabinet level positions, his own lawyers, and other Republicans throughout the country. Because without knowledge and intent that Trump knew what he was doing was a lie and that he intended to overthrow the election, he's going to be acquitted in this most recent indictment.
So what happens if they can't prove that part of it? Does the prosecution still have a case?
They don't, because most criminal statutes do require some sort of knowledge or intent, mens rea, or the criminal mind. You know, this is different from the documents case, because there, Trump has admitted that he knew the documents were classified and he intended to withhold them. And obviously, people that are innocent don't ask their employees to destroy video evidence. But this case is going to be a little bit more difficult, because Trump, if he truly believed that he was legitimately auditing the election results or that he was following his attorney's advice, he has a defense in this particular case that he doesn't have in the documents case. Of course, Washington, D.C. is a much more favorable venue for the special prosecutor in terms of the jury pool, and he has a much better judge in Judge Chutkan.
Now, Olivia, I think we could see more charges come through in this case?
I think we may well see more charges, particularly against those co-conspirators. And even though they weren't named, we know that they're Rudy Giuliani, Johnny Smith, Sidney Powell, Kenneth Chesebro, Jeffrey Clark. It's going to be interesting to see if they cooperate or are already cooperating or flipped against the former president, or they're going to end up wrapped up in indictment like Walt Nauta or Carlos de Oliveira. You know, with respect to insurrection, you know, Jack Smith has taken a very conservative approach in all of the cases. You know, when he filed the documents case there in South Florida, people said, well, why isn't he filing in D.C., a better venue? He didn't want to deal with a change of venue motion. And here, I think the evidence of insurrection is just less strong than the other counts here. He wanted to file and prove what he thought were the most easily provable counts. He didn't want to overextend himself and charge something, even though, you know, many of us believe that there is evidence that Trump conspired or participated in that January 6th insurrection. I don't think special counsel Jack Smith is ready yet to file those charges.
All right, Olivia Rubin, Neama Rahmani, thank you both. And extreme heat is heading west today. 10 states from Alabama to Arizona are under heat alerts. His legal team to mount their defense to that charge.
Well, I'm not surprised the former president is denying the allegations. Most criminal defendants do, and that's really par for the course for Donald Trump. But, you know, what you want to do if you're representing Donald Trump, hopefully he follows your advice, is you want to obviously delay this case, because if he regains the White House, it's well established that a sitting president can't be prosecuted, so everything goes away. But short of delay, if you really want to litigate this case on the merits, you want to attack that knowledge and intent. You want to argue to potential jurors that Donald Trump was just auditing the 2020 election results, or that he was following the advice of his lawyers, and that even though this was aggressive lawyering, this didn't cross the line to criminal conduct. Not saying I agree, but this is a case that can be defended on the merits, because really the prosecution here has to prove that knowledge, has to prove that intent. And that's why so much of the indictment contains information that, you know, Trump knew that this was all a lie. But if he can prove to those jurors or establish some sort of reasonable doubt that he truly believed that the election was stolen from him, then he's going to get acquitted.
Neama, if he did believe that the election was truly stolen, are you saying it would still be legal for him to have done these things that he's accused of doing, setting up fake electors and other things along those lines?
Well, Diane, conspiracy is an unlawful agreement. So the object of the conspiracy has to be unlawful. So, you know, for the prosecution in any criminal case, they have to prove that intent, that guilty mind, that mens rea. So if Donald Trump truly and legitimately believed that he was doing an audit or he was following his lawyer's advice, then he gets off. Now, obviously, what the prosecution will argue is that the fake electors, no reasonable person could have possibly thought that that is a legitimate legal argument. So that's where the argument's going to come to in this case.
I guess are these charges, and how strong is the special counsel's case?
These are very serious charges. And if you read the indictment, this is read for public consumption. And special counsel Jack Smith asked the American people to take a look and read the allegations in the indictment. He wants the American people to know that these charges are a direct assault on our democracy. And obviously it culminated with the Capitol riots on January 6th. But you're looking at counts that carry a 5 or 10-year potential prison sentence. And of course, someone Donald Trump's age, 77 years old, this may be a death sentence for the former president if he's indeed convicted, because this judge is not going to take these types of charges lightly. I mean, you're talking about a judge in Tanya Chutkan that has been the harshest sentencer when it comes to the Capitol riots of all of the District of Columbia judges. So this is not a favorable draw for the former president. So if he's indeed convicted, he can be sentenced up to the max. And this is a judge that's probably not going to give him a break or any type of probation sentence.